Hi, Palak.
Hi, Ranveer. I'll just check if I can share my
Yeah,
screen.
I just
Yeah,
want to play
okay.
a video until people join.
Yeah,
So we
yeah,
have enough
right.
people who have joined now.
So I think I'll take about 30 minutes for the
Yeah,
presentation and about 10, 12 minutes for questions. I think that
yeah,
should
I
be
think
good.
even 15, 20 minutes presentation
Yeah,
followed
that's
by
all.
Q&A.
Yeah, right.
I'll just give a
Yeah.
brief introduction. I'm Ranveer from Combined Company. We're one of the India representatives of King's College London. And we have Ms. Palak Bell, who's India International Officer, who's kindly agreed to give us a presentation on King's, all things King's in terms of departments, courses, entry requirements, scholarships, and graduate destinations. And over to you, Palak. Thanks for your time.
Great. Thank you so much, Ranveer. Thank you for organizing this. So how this will go is I will share a small presentation. The whole perspective is just to give you macro details on Kings, and I won't keep it too long because there will be lots of information. And then please feel free to ask any questions that you may have. And in case anything strikes after the presentation, I'll also give my email ID, and you also have Ranveer's details and Combined's email ID, so you can check with them as well. So, right, I will just share my screen. I hope it's
Yeah,
visible, Ranveer.
yeah, yeah. Excellent. Thank you.
Right, okay. Right, so welcome to King's. As Ranveer's already introduced me, I'm Palak. I'm the International Student Recruitment Officer for King's. I'm currently based in India. Just to give you a brief history about King's and some important points about King's, we were founded in 1829, which makes us the fourth oldest university in England. We are very proud to have produced 13 Nobel laureates so far. We have not one but five campuses in the heart of central London. Location, of course, is one of our USPs, and I'll touch more upon this in our location slide. And because our campuses are spread out and it's not just one campus, pretty much the whole of London seems to be the classroom. This is what we've been hearing from students as a feedback. We are part of the Russell Group. So for those of you who don't know, Russell Group is a group of research-intensive universities in the UK. It is pretty much like the Ivy League or the gold standard of academics that we would say in London. And of course, there's lots of internship, study abroad, life-changing impact opportunities. There's lots of cutting-edge research, interdisciplinary courses, which we will touch more upon in the So moving ahead now, just to give you a sense of the King's community, we are a large university with close to about 34,000 students. And very, very interestingly, about 50% of this is international student ratio, represented from about 185 different countries. And from India, we roughly have about 550 to 650 students studying across different courses and across various study course levels, UG, PG, PhD, etc., which I feel is a good number to be in the midst of students from across the globe, but also have friends from your own home country. Now, some of the reasons why our students choose King's is, of course, there are many, but just to list a few on the slides, we are a university with history and legacy. We are very, very actively involved in world reading research. So we are a very, very research incentive university, pretty much also validates why we are part of the Russell Group. And there are very, very interesting researches that keep going on at the campus. There were so many new researches that happened during COVID. So research is very, very core to King's. We are the 11th most international university in the world according to Times Higher Education Ranking. Like I said, we have five campuses in the heart of London. Now, students are very, very interested about rankings, and specifically Indian students follow rankings very keenly. So just to give you a sense, according to the latest QS World Rankings, we are top 3 in London, top 10 in the UK, and top 35 in the world. Also on the bigger box on the screen, you will see some subject-specific rankings, but all I would want to highlight here is that don't get obsessed with rankings, just use them to get a broader sense of where the university is in that country, with that particular course, etc. But don't make your entire course decisions just based on rankings. Just to give you a sense of our location, so all the red small boxes that you see on the screen are either hospitals, campuses, libraries owned by King's. And all the subjects that you see mentioned next to those boxes are, of course, the subjects that are taught at that particular campus. So where you will be based while studying at King's depends on what you choose to study with us. This will also be mentioned on the course page on the websites. So you can check that. And for some of the courses, you might also be taught at 2 different campuses. So your classes will be held at 2 different campuses. All the purple boxes that you see on the screen are all the important landmarks, institutes, etc., tourist spots that are in London. So you can see that we're pretty much surrounded with the very best that London has to offer. Now, this might look very spread out in the slide, but they're all within short bus rides and walking distance from each other. And yeah, I mean, I can go on and about this slide, but that's broadly where we are based. We are one of the, I mean, I would say one of the most centrally and perfectly located universities in the whole world, specifically from student perspective, because as a student, if you get to study in central London, that's a plethora of opportunities that you get. We have, and it's not just proximity, we also have connections with world-renowned institutions that are surrounded across the city. So that's broadly about our location. And if you want to know more about any particular campus or where you'll be studying, etc., there are lots of videos on YouTube to check out and have a virtual tour of the campus. And yeah, and we've been, and we all know that London has been rated the #1 student city in the world, not once, but multiple times now. So yeah, that was about the location. I'll move forward now. To give you a closer view of some of our campuses, this is the Strand campus, where arts, humanities, social science courses are taught, law, computer science, and engineering. Guy's campus is the medicine school. This is, of course, all our medicine, dentistry, and life sciences courses are taught. It's a beautiful campus. This is the iconic Bush House, which is the King's Business School. This is the Mon Library. Right. So like I said, because we are in the heart of central London, there's so much opportunities and so much advantages to it. So we get a lot of prominent high-profile visitors. This is a picture of the Queen when she visited our campus. We have partnerships with world-renowned institutions, links with professional bodies, institutes. For example, our law students get access to the PW's legal clinic. There's a lot of connections with the English literature students, business, etc. So much on offer. And of course, London's not just studying. There's so much more to do in London. It's one of the most vibrant cities in the world. So you can follow your passion and try something new. There's lots of options available. Now that was a brief about King's and a brief about London. Now what you can study at King's, I will just take you through that. So King's is a very, very competitive university. To give you a sense, we have about 180 plus courses on offer, and the number of applications, of course, is not even the most updated figure, but we receive more than this, of course. And of course, we don't have that many seats on offer, which pretty much states that for each seat on offer, we have a lot more number of applications put in for that particular seat, which makes King's extremely competitive. Now, some courses are more popular than the other, of course, and 50% of these applications number mentioned are just for top 15 courses, and the top 3 have been business management, law, biomedical sciences. Of course, other courses are economics, IR, psychology. All of these are pretty popular courses, engineering, computer science, which means if you're choosing to apply in any of these courses, then you must put in a very strong competitive application for you to get an offer from King's. And meeting just the entry requirements, of course, I'll touch more upon this, is just a prerequisite and in no way guarantees an offer to you. Now, what you can study at an undergraduate level first. So we have about 180 to 200 courses on offer. And of course, it's not possible to put everything on the screen. So we divide them into 5 broad faculties, which is STEM, health subjects, politics, economics and society, management, finance, and law and arts and humanities. the best place to check out these courses is the website. So go on the website, search for the particular course. The whole course page will open up, which will give you a brief about the course, the entry requirements, career testimonial, where it's taught, how many years, etc. All of those details will be mentioned. So that's a useful tool in your research. So I've just mentioned a few courses under each faculty for you to have a sense on the kind of courses that we offer, but also don't get obsessed with the course name. See what's taught in that course, what modules are taught. So you might be interested in, say, marketing, but you may study, you may want to study business management. When you actually study the modules of international management, you may find that more interesting and aligned to what you want to do. So do that research by visiting course pages. What can you study for masters? Of course, the broad faculties remain the same, but the courses are different. So you can, all the master students, if you're looking for options, just check out the course page. We also have a lot of interdisciplinary options. So interesting major and minor combinations like maths with management, combined degrees such as neuroscience, psychology, interesting combinations in BSc, BA pathways, multidisciplinary degrees such as war studies, lots and lots of opportunities. So the best place, honestly, to do your research is the King's website. I've already touched upon research. So research is very, very core to King's. Now we also have study abroad partners for undergraduate students. So you may choose to do a semester abroad, a few weeks abroad, etc. So they are, of course, that will also be mentioned on the course page if that particular course offers this opportunity. So we have 300 plus partners across the globe, and all the students pretty much who've done this have given us a fantastic feedback as to what a great learning experience and exposure this is. To 12 summits on the teaching style. So of course there are lectures, seminars, independent study is a big part of university methodology abroad. So if you're choosing an abroad university, there's not much hand-holding that's usually preferred by Indian students, or how Indian students are used to that. There's a lot of independent study. So you have to study the subject and then come into the classroom for discussions, lectures, etc. And each student is also, I think if we run the poll now, it's going to affect the slides. So can we please run the poll later?
Sorry, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah, because the slide will get,
okay, sure.
I'll give you some time after the slide.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. So for the personal tutor, so every student gets assigned one personal tutor. So you can reach them for your personal needs, your pastoral needs, anything you want to discuss. You want to talk to them as a friend, any particular problems you're facing with teaching, etc. So all of that will be given. Okay, right. So now that was a few broad guidelines on the teaching style, but of course there's lots to do inside the classroom. We have London Met crime labs, rooftop observatories, dissecting rooms, so much interesting things that keep happening. There's also lots of outside classroom learning activities like field trips, legal clinic, mooting, lots and lots of opportunities. For entry requirements, like I said, the course page is the best place to check out the entry requirements, because some courses might have a specific entry requirements, such as an entry piece, etc. But broadly, we don't have interviews for most of our courses. It's just there for medicine courses. So the overall application will consist of you meeting the minimum entry requirements scores, a great personal statement, references, English language test scores. If you are a CBSE or a student or ISC student, then you will need an English language test score at an undergraduate level. And if you are a A-level or an IB student, you might not need. The admissions will let you know about that. And for all postgraduate application, English language test score is a must. So for CBSE, usually the requirement is, for computer science, it's increased to 93% now. So somewhere about, say, 90% for most of our courses, I would say. But again, check the course page. And for IB, it's usually 35 points overall, and HLN combinations of 776 to 665, depending on what course you're applying. A levels is A star, A to ABB, again, depending on what course you choose to study. So that's a brief about entry requirements. Now, how to apply, I'm sure all of you who are looking at UK will know that most of UK universities accepted through UCAS. So please be mindful of the deadline because we are very strict with UG deadlines. 5 choices, one personal statement, of course, is a small fee. And what you broadly need is predicted scores, personal statement, academic records, references is one. And additional test, I know this comes up a lot, so we don't need GMAT, GRE, etc. So, or SATs. The aptitude test is only UCAT for medicine and LNAT for law, which are pretty important in the whole application. And required work experience and interviews for medicine. All postgraduate applications are applied through the King's portal itself, and we will need 2 references in most cases and statement of purpose and English language test. With entry requirements, with post-graduation, we internally possess a list which categorizes university into highly prestigious and recognized. So something like a Madras University or a Bombay University will be like a highly prestigious, something like an Amity will be recognized. So the different combinations that are there, in case you want to check where your particular university falls under, you can just drop us an email on the India email ID and we will be happy to get back to you on that. And for English language test score, it is important to meet overall as well as each score in each section. So that is important. In case you don't meet that, you'll have to retake the test. Now, of course, it's not just all study and no play. So we have a very active and one of the oldest student unions, 300 plus student societies, 6 on-campus venues, lots and lots of clubs, subject-specific clubs, Harry Potter Society, social work, music, dance, sports, everything is on offer. We also have winter and summer schools. So the winter school dates are, of course, for this year, it's now done. So subject area, just to give you a sense. So if you're interested around this time next year, then the details will be uploaded in due course on the website. The summer school, which is a pre-university, the sessions is from 4th to 15th July and 18th to 29th July. There are various sessions available. Fees, of course, is applicable. And you can check those details on the website in case you're interested. Also, we have the university level summer school. Again, the dates and the subject areas and fees, everything, all of these details will also be mentioned on the website. We also have a very strong careers and employability team. So there are about 1,000 plus career events in a year, from employer masterclasses to networking nights to virtual fairs, employment fairs, lots and lots of opportunities. So you have to be out there and avail those opportunities, I would say. Now, where our graduates are, of course, they're spread across the globe, but just to give you some sense, various different parts of the globe, different continents, and working with some big brands, multinationals, government, etc. Tuition fees, of course, are also mentioned in the course page exactly. Medicine courses are on the expensive side. And for scholarships, I know this will come up a lot. So scholarship, whatever is available is updated on the website under the relevant section. So please check that. And if you're eligible for a scholarship or what prerequisites are needed will also be mentioned next to the scholarship. So check that out. But King's is not very generous with scholarships, I would say. So also check the British Council or other third-party organizations that provide a scholarship that might be relevant to you. We also have 10 halls of residences. Intercollegiate halls are also available, which is where all the University of London students stay together. Of course, prices and contract lines vary, so you can choose based on your budget and your preferences. You can also check the Unibuddy chat feature. If you go on the King's website, this will pop up, so you can talk to current. This is very useful because you can talk to current students here from different courses, different parts of the country. You can talk to Indian students, anybody else doing a course that you're looking at, just to chat with them about their application experience, their classroom experience at King's, or probably outside classroom, what clubs and societies did they join, anything about studying and living in London, and they will be very happy to help you out. So that's all from my end. I will stop sharing my screen now. And this is our India email ID. I will also type it out in the chat box in case you want me to. And right. So I'll open the chat box now. Please don't ask me Sorry, please don't ask me subject-specific questions of what is needed in what subject. That will be honestly available on the website under the course page, because I might not have everything on the top of my mind because different courses require different things. But I hope broadly you've understood what we need for our courses. So. Ranveer, do you want me to look at the questions?
Yeah. Perhaps we can just start with the Q&A
Right.
and just go through that. And
so I can see questions on Duolingo. No, we don't accept Duolingo. So from Indian students, it's not accepted. You can either take the IELTS, TOEFL, or the PTE. Now, whatever you wish to take, you will have to, get those particular scores that are needed overall and also in each section. And it's not waived off, and there is no application fee waiver as well, because I know this question also comes up a lot. So unfortunately, we don't provide any application fee waiver.
Right. With regarding LLM and any possible placements and financial aid and eligibility.
Right. What other questions are there, and what is there anything in particular you want me to answer?
You can perhaps look at the LLM eligibility criteria. I think you had a slide on that anyway. If you can just
we need LNAT specifically for law. That's for law. But like I said, for any specific entry requirements criteria, honestly, the website, the course page will be a best place to check, because something with international management will need like an essay and words, etc. So there might be one or two specific, or if there's any specific HL combinations that's needed. So for all economics courses, for example, you will need maths in particular. For business management, this also questions come up a lot. We don't need maths till class 12. So if you have maths till class 10, that will also work for business management. So these are different kinds of options that are available. So when you go on the course page, just choose international entry requirements. There will be a drop down of countries, and just choose India from that. That will open the whole table of what you actually need from India.
And that indicates the prestigious, highly prestigious universities and the cutoffs, right?
That we will have, or that list is not available anywhere. So that we possess. So of course, they can reach out to you, and you can drop us an email to check what we need.
Right. Yeah. I think this query from Shagun was with regard to LLM law, masters in law. Broadly speaking, eligibility and what are the kind of graduate destinations available?
For LLM specifically, we don't need references because it's a very, very competitive. So the factoring in is different. So we don't need LLM, a reference for LLM. So that's broadly one difference with LLM that we have.
Okay. Shagun, if you can give us your background, it would help, because you asked about eligibility. If you want, you can come online quickly.
Ranveer, I think if we get everybody online, there'll be multiple people.
There may be too many things.
So yeah, they can write to you.
Through the Q&A.
Yeah, they can write to you, and you can compile and send it to me. I'll be very happy to, because I'll have to check individual university categories for that. That will take up some time.
Right. Bhavna Rati inquiring about bachelor's in design and anything equivalent or related programs.
Design courses as such we don't have.
Not in design or graphic design. All right.
Yeah.
I'll just put that in the chat.
There's things across creative media, etc. Like I said, but I always tell students, don't just go by the name. If you want to study something, just do a bit of research. It might be taught under a different name. So just do that bit of research. So I see is English language test mandatory for undergraduate applicants. Yes. If you're a CBSE or ISC students, it is mandatory. For IB and A levels, we usually don't need, but if the admissions needs it, they will let you know. So yeah.
All right. And I think you've covered the point on Duolingo anyway. So I'll just take that as answered.
Do you have any courses related to master's information system? Yes, of course, there's bits on computers and information systems, etc. There will be multiple courses. Again, like I said, it's best to do a bit of research as to what is taught under what module, what you want to study, what's your study background that you're already studying, and then try to match it. You can also speak to our current students over Unibuddy. to understand what exactly is taught in that particular course, what societies did they join for that particular course, what kind of teaching methodology is adapted for that course. So all of this research, honestly, and if you are looking to study at a foreign university, then you will have to get into the habit of not getting everything served at one place on a platter. This is I've seen a lot of Indian students facing a bit of a problem when they land into foreign universities, because unfortunately our education systems and handholding and support in India is not what you usually get outside. So just be a little more proactive, I would say, and reach out to people on LinkedIn. Unibuddy is there. All the course pages also have a course leader's email ID. If you want any technical information about what's taught in that particular module, reach out to them. And of course, you guys are always there to help. We are there to help. You can also drop us an email ID if you need any help.
Sure. I think there are several courses, masters in marketing and communication, which are available. Again, perhaps best just to look at the website, or would you like to elaborate on
Management courses?
Yeah, marketing and management.
Yeah, there are various marketing management. Pretty much, they are very competitive also. So there's international management, there's business management, etc. Lot of opportunities to study that. They're competitive because, of course, they are very popular as well. So now different combinations will be offered under different courses, like I said. So you might be more focused on management aspect, or a marketing aspect, or an international marketing aspect. Just so you'll have to take that call to see what basically fits in better with what you want to study.
Okay, thank you. General question, I guess, if SAT is a plus point for undergraduate admissions, though it's not mandatory.
SAT, no. So anything beyond what's mentioned, don't send it across, because usually we have anyways formed with applications. The team will not really look at those documents. So there's no point sending. So Nidhi says law shows 35 points. Please explain. So that's 35 is for IB students. Like I said, if you are a CBSE or IC student, go to international entry requirements, choose India. That will give you CBSE equivalent entry requirements. In India, we're getting lateral entry seat to direct second year. So can we finish bachelor's in 2 years? No, we are very, very specific about transfers. So there's only, you can find that information on the website as well, that we will be very, very specific in matching credit scores and transfers. And that's not usually something that's very smoothly flown at King's. So that's there. What does HL mean? HL is high level subject. So if you're an IB student, this will only be relevant to you. So yeah.
Right. I think
need to know more about business management courses, you can just go to the website, like I said, and just search business management.
Right, it's quite a range. Duration for BMLT. I'm not
Sorry,
sure
what is that?
I'm not sure what BMLT is, Swagat. You want to elaborate in the chat?
What is the deadline for application for 2022? So for undergraduate courses, we are already closed because we follow the UCAS deadline. And if you're looking for a medicine course, it's 15th October. For all other courses, it's 26th of January. And if you're looking for post-graduation, then March end is the deadline. So pretty much, I think it's 26th of March, if I'm not right. I have a long study gap. Honestly, that's not much of a criteria that's taken into negative light in foreign universities, as long as you can justify what you did in those years in your personal statement, of course, because there's no additional document that will be needed. So if you can rationalize what you used it for and why you took it, it's fine. That's not much of a concern usually with foreign universities.
Are you looking at the chat box, Palak, or the Q&A?
Yeah. I'm looking at the chat box. Yeah.
IELTS minimum. I mean, I think you have the lead.
I've already, I think most of the questions I've already answered in the presentation. LLM scholarship, honestly, I don't think we will have a scholarship for LLM. One, King's is not very generous to scholarships anyways, and LLM is an extremely popular competitive program that's anyways oversubscribed. So I don't think King's will have any, but you can check out, do a Google search and see if there's anything relevant that's available. What if I have a lower percentage than it's mentioned? Honestly, I will suggest don't apply, because King's is very, very strict with entry requirements, and just meeting the entry requirements also does not guarantee an offer to you. So yeah. I think
most of them in the chat you've covered.
Yeah, I'll still quote my email ID. In case you have any questions, you can always reach out to Combined Company if there's still anything specific, for example, categorization of universities, then you can always drop us an email ID.
I'm not sure if you covered the question on lateral entry for second year. She didn't
No,
mention.
I said that transfers is usually not okay. So I am currently in London. Is there a way I could visit King's Business School? So we are looking to open campus stores. I think it's going to open. Just give me one sec. I'll tell you when is that opening. So you can visit those. Right. So we will be starting. There is a schedule that we follow. You can book. So the booking is now live. I will put a link to the page for campus stores, and you can check that link out and book your tickets as well. So that's there. I will just post it for you. Yeah, this is the link to book your campus store. So you can do that. Is it possible to explain lower percentage? I can work. No, work experience is just over and above that. Meeting the minimum entry requirements is a prerequisite. So I will not suggest that you apply and waste your application, because King's is anyways very, very swamped with applications that anyways meet the entry requirements. So all other things are over and above that. I have 15 years of gap and 15 years of work experience. So honestly, first, I will suggest you to go through as to what you want to study and why you want to study and how will that align with your future goals. And then if you're able to justify that in your personal statement, and mature students is also fine at King's. So it's not much of a concern, but you should be okay to see what you want to study and why you want to study, because that has to be justified in your personal statement. Percentage of masters for masters or PhD? I didn't understand this question. So
maybe probably any entry requirements for a query, I guess. I guess that's also in terms of course specific entry requirements on your site.
Yeah, and also course page, again, the best place to check out those course. No, if you failed a certain subject, or if you have a re that you're supposed to give, I don't think there is a very strong chance with applications. So yeah.
Okay.
I think we've pretty much covered everything.
I'm just seeing in the Q&A in case there's anything.
I'll just check the Q&A also.
Maybe some repetition.
I think it's repeated. So I'm doing IB in Hyderabad. Do I need to take the English language test? You can apply without those scores. In case that's needed, the team will get back to you. This is for everybody. You can apply without your English language test scores, but you will have to submit it at some point before. You'll get a conditional offer, of course. So you'll have to submit it at some point. Deadlines we've covered. Are there credits for well-rounded students while considering applications? Sorry, I didn't understand. What do you mean by that?
If you want, requirements is still a must, apart from any profile, right?
Yeah.
The academic requirements is the priority.
Right. Yeah. If you want to know about any particular course, like I'm seeing a few messages, then honestly, the course page will have a lot of information for you regarding the course, the modules, career testimonials, what is taught in that course, how is it taught, the cycle of course, the class schedule, etc. Everything will be there. So you can check that out. To simply play a key role in acceptance is very, very important. So because we don't have interviews for most of our subjects, then statement of purpose is a very, very important document, because like I said, pretty much all the applications we receive do meet the minimum entry requirements. So to stand out from the cohort, it is important to submit a strong personal statement. Right, I think that's that. Ranvi, do you want me to end it here?
Yeah, I think just the last one on business analytics and masters. I think you've answered that.
Yeah, I've submitted the application for masters on 2nd February. Till when can I get. So the average processing time for any application is at least 6 to 8 weeks, and these times in particular are more busier than the usual times. So you might have to wait a little longer. It's not a rolling base admission. You will have to, for if your application is really, really strong, you might hear a decision before the deadline, but mostly we wait for all the applications to come in till the deadline and then make a decision based on the cohort of applications that we've received.
I guess in the Q&A from Nipur, there are several business analytics and digital marketing courses for masters which are available. If you want to elaborate on that.
Which one, sorry?
In the Q&A from Nipur, masters in business analytics and related courses.
Yeah, so like I said, the course research will have to be done from your end on the website. So what is taught where, I mean, how it's etc. So that's something that I will suggest you do. After that, if you still have any particular questions, if you still want more clarity on what's better than the other in terms of what you want to study, you can always drop us an email on the India email ID, or they can reach out to you, of course, and I'm sure you'll be happy.
I'll just mention that in the chat, because I think most of the inquiries are related to applications and processing. So I'll just put that in.
Where I send my documents so you can check my assessment. All the documents need to be submitted on the portal itself. And like I said, if you've, I mean, like you mentioned, your profile, you failed certain exams, then I don't think you have very, very strong chances. So I will not encourage you to apply, but of course it's your decision. You can go ahead and check that.
Right. I think perhaps Shagun is the last one on the Q&A. An ultimate year of a BA LLB with around 80%. I'm not sure what your query is, but I guess it's regard to entry requirements for a LLM. I think that's again perhaps answered in principle with 80%. Depending on the kind of institution, Shagun, if you can let us know, we'll check in with the India office. Okay.
Right.
Take that as answered. Great. I think we have covered a fair amount of questions. A lot of them were just perhaps in regard to entry requirements, kind of courses which are available, and scholarships. So certainly we'll take it forward with the students who still have anything further. And you did mention, Palak, that I guess for the master's popular programs, the deadline is end March, right, for September intake?
Yeah. And we only have September intake for about, I would say, 99% of our programs.
Right. And anything further you would like to close on? I think.
No, I think, just focus on your personal statement only. I mean, double check your minimum entry requirements. If you're meeting those scores, only then go ahead and make your application. Don't wait till the very deadline to submit your application. Do your course research on the website and talk to current students to get a fair idea, I would say.
Right. All right. Great. Thank you for your time, Palak, and thank you everyone
for thank you so
being
much.
online. And by all means, do get in touch with us for further inquiries. We have put it in the chat box, and we'll be in touch with yourself. Thank you, Palak.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.